Hello, I'm Katrina Brooks and I'm the Macmillan dietitian at Worthing Hospital, and today I'm going to be talking to you about nutritional prehab for breast cancer patients. So by the end of this session I hope you will have a better understanding of what nutritional prehab is, what the benefits of eating well are, how to eat well and what to eat more of, and where to access more reliable information. Nutrition is one of the three cornerstones of prehab, together with physical activity and emotional well-being. And the aim of nutritional prehab is to optimise the body's nutrient stores so that it has the building blocks to cope with the demands and stresses that cancer treatments place on it. We know that individuals who are poorly nourished have higher rates of post-op complications and are less likely to complete their cancer treatments. The nutrients that are essential to optimise your nutritional stores include energy from fats and carbohydrates, protein-rich foods, fibre-rich foods, fluids and micronutrients. And these are all essential in optimising your nutritional status. The benefits of eating well include supporting your immune system, giving you back a sense of control at a time when maybe a lot of things are outside of your control, improving your health and sense of well-being, improving your energy levels, helping to support you and your family through treatment, as this is something that you can do together, and reducing the risk of developing recurrences and other chronic diseases such as diabetes and heart disease. The tips for a healthy lifestyle include aiming to keep to a healthy weight, eating regular meals, having at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables daily, including starchy carbohydrates in each meal, as these are the foods that provide our major source of energy, including dairy and dairy alternatives. Dairy foods are particularly rich in calcium and protein, and if you choose the non-dairy alternatives then do make sure that they are enriched with calcium, including protein in your diet, and drinking plenty of fluids, at least 6 to 8 glasses of fluid a day, because fluid is essential for hydration, and when we're dehydrated it tends to reduce our mental capacity and our performance. Fluid is also very important to aid good bowel function. We know that women with breast cancer, that alcohol increases the risk of breast cancer, so it's important to limit your alcohol intake to 5 units or less a week, and to spread the intake of alcohol out throughout the week. This is the Eat Well guide. It's a very useful tool to highlight the types of foods that should be eaten and the proportions in which to eat them. And you can have a look at this in more detail when you're watching the video as to what foods are found in each of the sections of the tool. So one of the healthy tips is to try and maintain your body weight and maintain a healthy body weight. And we often find that people, when they get a cancer diagnosis, make drastic changes to their diet in the attempt to make up for maybe years of poor eating habits. But now is not the time to actively try and lose weight. When people lose weight rapidly, they tend to lose a lot of muscle mass, and it's our muscle mass that's really important in helping us to maintain our strength and our immunity through cancer treatment. We also know that cancer treatment side effects can affect people's ability to eat, and it can limit the kind of foods that you're able to eat or that you want to eat. So it's really important that at this time that you don't try to actively lose weight, as you'll find that you restrict your nutrient intake at a time when your body needs to keep a really good nutritional status. It's far more important to focus on eating well and to eat a balanced diet. Another important tip of eating well is to try and eat regular meals. By regular meals, we mean having sort of 3 to 4 meals a day, or in some people they may have 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. There isn't a right or wrong way of eating regular meals, but it's trying to have more than just 1 or 2 eating opportunities in the day. The benefits of eating well include providing energy for your daily activities, reducing fatigue, which can be common during cancer treatments, keeping your blood glucose levels steady, as fluctuations in your blood glucose levels can affect your mood and your mental function. We've all been in that situation where we've been hungry and maybe felt that our judgment in dealing with situations has not been as good as if we hadn't been hungry. Eating regular meals also gives you more eating opportunities to provide your body with essential nutrients. And lastly, spreading your food intake out through the day will enable your body to absorb nutrients more efficiently than if you just consume 1 or 2 meals a day. One of the most essential nutrients to have during your cancer treatment is protein. Protein is important for building and repairing all cells of the body, and requirements are increased during cancer treatments. Protein is found in foods such as fish, meat, poultry, eggs, nuts and seeds, pulses, vegetarian alternatives such as corn, tofu and soya, and is also found in dairy products such as milk, yogurt and cheese. It's a good idea to try and eat more plant-based protein sources, and if you're choosing meat, that you choose less red meat, more poultry, and that you, where possible, try and avoid processed meats such as sausages, bacons and ham. It's important that we spread our protein intake out throughout the day, as by doing so you'll optimise your protein absorption and optimise sort of muscle and cell renewal. We require to eat protein sort of 3 to 4 times a day, and it's recommended that we aim for portions of protein that provide us with about 20 grams of protein. So we tend to find that people will often consume most of their protein in their main meal, such as their evening meal, but it's important that we also consider the other times that we eat in the day, so things like at breakfast and at lunch, as well as the evening meal, and that we choose a variety of protein foods. We can see here in the table a list of protein foods and the amount of protein that's actually found in that portion. So the next important constituent to our diet that's to consider is fibre. And we know that this is one of the life-saving foods that 90% of us are not eating enough of. Fibre can help to reduce the risk of heart attacks, reduce the risk of strokes and developing type 2 diabetes. It also helps in weight control, blood pressure control, and can help lower cholesterol levels. It also has a really important function in enabling us to prevent constipation and maintaining our bowel function. It's cheap and widely available, and we should be aiming to consume about 30 grams of fibre a day. The main sources of fibre in the diet include things like fruit and vegetables, whole grain breakfast cereals, breads and pasta, pulses and beans, as well as nuts and seeds. So what does 30 grams of fibre look like? And on this slide you can see how you can make your diet up with 30 grams of fibre. And you can see here it's mainly whole grain cereals, fruits and vegetables. Important point to make about fibre is that if you're increasing your fibre intake, you try and do it slowly over several days, to avoid sort of bloating and digestive discomfort. And that in addition to increasing your fibre intake, you also consider how much fluid you're drinking. Fibre is a bit like a sponge and it will absorb water, and so you need to make sure that you're drinking plenty of fluids whilst increasing your fibre intake so that it works well. Vegetables and fruit are another important food group. They're packed with essential vitamins and minerals that strengthen our immune system. They contain natural phytochemicals, including antioxidants, that help to protect our cells from damage. If we're eating adequate fruits and vegetables, then there's no reason for us to be taking additional supplements. And there are a few exceptions to this, maybe things like vitamin D, but on the whole we should be able to get all of our vitamins and minerals from our fruit and vegetables. Vegetables and fruit are also a good source of fibre when we eat the skins of them, and vegetables and fruits are also naturally low in energy to help maintain a healthy weight. And we should be aiming for 5 or more portions of vegetables and fruit a day. On this slide you can see how you can move towards managing 5 fruits and vegetables a day. A portion of fruit is, or a portion of vegetables is approximately 80 grams, which is about a handful of either raw, cooked, frozen, dried or tinned fruit and vegetables. And there's some tips here on how you can increase your fruit and vegetable consumption. So what should you do if you're not feeling like eating? The previous slides are very much focused on eating well, and eating well for not just during your treatment, but also beyond your treatment into your recovery. But whilst you're on treatment, you may have periods of time where you don't feel like eating or you're actually losing weight. And the first thing to think about is why this is happening. Is it happening because your treatment is making you feel sick? Are you taking enough of your anti-sickness medications? Do you need to speak to your health professional about this? Are you not eating enough because you're feeling anxious? Are you not eating enough because you're feeling tired and don't have the energy to prepare food? So sometimes actually thinking about why you're not eating enough will then help you to be able to focus on how you can improve the situation. Some of the things that can help when you're not eating well or you don't feel like eating include, again, trying to eat regular meals. You might need to have some small snacks at regular times during the day rather than focusing on 3 meals a day. And not always thinking of foods in the traditional way of having sort of like maybe a hot meal. Sometimes people find when they don't feel like eating that they're better off with cold foods or using things like sort of cereals. And it doesn't matter if you're doing this at frequent time points during the day. Choosing higher energy foods rather than the low energy foods so that you're making every mouthful count. Fortifying your foods with extra energy, so adding sort of things like butter and cheese to potatoes and soups, and maybe using nourishing milky drinks. Some other snack ideas are enclosed on this slide. And some other useful tips is that often we find during treatment that people have periods of time when they're not eating very well and other times where they're eating better. So it's important to try and maximise the good times and be kind to yourself during the times that you're struggling. Often people will find that it helps to plan ahead, maybe making meals in advance and putting them in the freezer. Filling the store cupboard and the freezer with sort of ready to go meals and snacks that are easy to grab and easy to prepare. Using ready meals or takeaways. Often people sort of steer clear of these particular items, but there's a huge array in the supermarkets and they can be very useful to help support you during this difficult time. And you can use them as a quick way of preparing the main part of the meal and maybe then serving them with extra salad or vegetables. Using delivery companies, sort of like the supermarket delivery, or companies such as Wiltshire Farm Foods that have ready prepared foods that you can store in the freezer and then just reheat in the oven. The other thing is remembering that your friends and family will want to help you, and this is one of the ways that they can help you, whether it's with shopping or with meal preparation. So do take that help because it can make a big difference. Okay, so lastly, looking at how to access reliable and reputable information. If you type diet and cancer into Google, you will get over 5 million hits. Some of this information will be very helpful and reliable. Sources such as Macmillan and government websites, Cancer Research UK, will all provide you with very reliable information. But a lot of the information out there is unlicensed and unregulated and can be very unhelpful. Anybody can create a website and anybody can publish a book, and sometimes the information in those publications is not based on any evidence and can lead to a lot of confusion about what is right for you to eat at a time when you're very vulnerable. So just be careful when you're searching the internet, and please don't believe everything that you read and everything that you see on the internet. It's more important that you go to reliable sources, such as having a chat with your healthcare professionals or accessing some of the following sources of information. So on this particular slide, I've included some of the dietary information that's currently available through Macmillan, is available through Breast Cancer Now, the Cancer Research UK, the World Cancer Research Fund, and on other government websites. And these resources have a lot more in-depth ideas and tips and recommendations to help support you through your treatment. So thank you for listening today, and if you do need further support on diet and nutrition, please do speak with your oncology team, and if necessary, please request a referral to a dietitian. Thank you.